This is the Sabbath School lesson for the third quarter, 2021.
Lesson 3 from the series Rest in Christ is titled Roots of Restlessness, ready for teaching on July 17, and I'm Percy Harrold. Monday, July 12, Selfishness. As in the case of the Aspen and its larger underground system, selfishness is part of the huge underground system called sin, which keeps us from finding true rest in Jesus. Of all the expressions of sin in our lives, selfishness seems to be the easiest to manifest, doesn't it? For most of us, selfishness is as natural as breathing. Question, read Luke 12, verses 13 to 21. Describe the problem highlighted in Jesus' parable. Is planning for the future selfish and expressing disregard for God's kingdom? If not, or at least not necessarily, then what is Jesus warning us against? Luke 12, beginning at verse 13. Then one from the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." But he said to him, "Man, who made me a judge or an arbiter over you?" And he said to them, "Take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses." Then he spoke a parable to them, saying, "The ground of a certain rich man yielded plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, since I have no room to store my crops? So he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there I will store all my crops and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, Fool, this night your soul will be required of you. Then whose will those things be which you have provided? So is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God." This parable appears only in the Gospel of Luke and is told in response to an anonymous question from the audience. Asked about a question regarding an inheritance, Jesus responds by rejecting the role of the arbiter between brothers. Instead, he opts to put his finger on the bigger underlying problem, namely selfishness. He digs deeper to show the root mass underneath our individual actions. Think about expressions of selfishness in your life. How does selfishness affect our relationships with God, with our spouses and families, with our church families, with our neighbours, and with colleagues at work? What key is found in Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 to 8? Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, did not consider it robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking the form of a bondservant, and coming in the likeness of men. And, being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even the death of the cross. By focusing solely on his own needs and ambitions, the anonymous rich man of Jesus' parable forgot to take into consideration unseen heavenly realities. Bigger, better, and more are not the foundational principles of God's kingdom. Paul offers us a glimpse into what motivated Jesus as he decided to become our substitute. Philippians 2, 5 to 8 describes the blueprint of unselfishness, humility, and love. If love for God and others does not drive our choices and priorities, we will continue to build more barns for ourselves here and put less treasure in heaven, as it says in Matthew 6:20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. And so to finish today, why is it so easy to get caught up in the desire for wealth and material possessions? Though we all need a certain amount of money to survive, why does it seem to be that no matter how much we have, we always want more? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.